Welcome back. I'm ThriceRisen, and this is the part 3 of my Space Wolves Wulfen review. I originally set out to only make one video, but then more spoilers arrived the day I posted it, and so I made a second video. And now, less than a day after posting that second video, I'm making a third, because we have been gifted with this. I told you so is not the right statement, but I want to say it. There was a lot of speculation regarding the Hellfrost pistol and the Tempest hammer, and the fact that there are rumors that there was a Slayer model in the works. Well, here they both are. Ulrich the Slayer and a new Iron Priest, which you can see the pistol and the hammer are clearly modeled on the sculpt of the new Iron Priest. Both are highly detailed. The Ulrich model, which I'll zoom in a little bit on here, is one of the prettiest models I have seen in a long time. That model is absolutely gorgeous, as is the Iron Priest, but I'm totally smitten with that new Space Wolf model. He could make a good Wolf Lord, he could make just a generic Wolf Priest, as there is not an actual Wolf Priest model at the moment. So we're definitely getting a new sculpt for both of those, which means that at the very least, the Iron Priest is going to have its rules updated to include the new weaponry. Which fits into some of the rumors I've been hearing that the Space Wolves, as part of this Curse of the Wulfen expansion, are going to be getting a few updates to the rules, similar to the updates that the Tau received not too far back. So we could definitely expect, obviously, just at the very least, the updates to the Iron Priest, but what could we expect from Ulrich, perhaps? Again, in my first video, I was hoping that perhaps he'll interact with the Wulfen in some fashion. Perhaps, because he does, as he currently exists in the book, he likes to give buffs to the guys that he's with. Here's the current version of Ulrich the Slayer. He weighs in at 145 points, which is only 35 more points than a generic Rune Priest. So what's the difference? Why would you pay the extra 35 points for Ulrich the Slayer as opposed to just taking a vanilla Rune Priest? Their war gear lists are exactly the same. They both have power armor, bolt pistol, Crozius Arcanum, frag grenades, crack grenades, healing bombs, and a wolf amulet. They both have acute senses, counterattack, fearless, and independent character. Now, here's where things start differing a little bit. Ulrich the Slayer also has fear, which is not always significant in close combat, but it can be. The big difference lies in their statistics line. The Wolf Priest is Weapon Skill 5, Ballistic Skill 4, Strength 4, Toughness 4, Wounds 2, Initiative 4, Attacks 2, Leadership 10, 3-up Armor Save. Whereas Ulrich the Slayer is Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 4, Toughness 4, Wounds 3, Initiative 5, Attacks 3, Leadership 10, and a 3-up Armor Save. So his Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill, Wounds, Attacks, and Initiative are all one better than the vanilla Rune Priest, which to me is almost worth the extra 35 points. Just get a better version of that. The other big difference is that Ulrich the Slayer has a plasma pistol instead of a bolt pistol. He also has the Slayer's Oath, which confers all friendly units with the Space Wolves faction within 6 inches of him the preferred enemy special rule. Whereas the normal Rune Priest, you nominate one unit type at the beginning of the game. Infantry, monstrous creature, and so on. And then the Wolf Priest gains preferred enemy against models of the specified type. Whereas Ulrich the Slayer is just generic, all-encompassing preferred enemy. He also has Saga the Beast Slayer, which gives him Monster Hunter. He has the Wolf Helm of Russ, which gives all friendly units with the Space Wolves faction within 12 inches of Ulrich the Slayer the Stubborn special rule. Now, once again, what I've been reading off to you is the current rules for Ulrich the Slayer. This is as he is in the current Space Wolves Codex. So what might we expect from this new model? I mean, he doesn't look that much different. He clearly has his wolf's helm tucked under his arm. He has the same Crozius. His armor doesn't really look any different. I mean, it looks a lot different, but in terms of the functionality of it, it doesn't look much different. So he looks to be just about the same model-wise. I do not see on this model the plasma pistol, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have it. It could very easily be tucked behind in the back of the sculpt or somewhere else. But again, why would you take him as opposed to a Rune Priest? Well, I think if you're willing to pay the extra 35 points, you're going to get all this extra special stuff. And Wolf Priests are kind of a weird thing. I don't necessarily see them taken that much in lists that I've seen in battle reports online and in tournament lists. You tend to see a generic Rune Priest because they're cheaper. They just fill an HQ slot. They give you a presence in the psychic phase, which is very significant for, if nothing else, denying the witch rolls. It gives you some extra dice if you make them mastery level 2. But I love the Wolf Priest because I have, I'm a bit biased for the Wolf Priest because I have the Games Day model here, all beautifully painted up, and it looks really great on the table. In fact, you'll see a close-up of this model in my channel banner at the moment. So I love the Wolf Priest. I love the fact that it confers Feel No Pain to the unit through the Healing Balms. The Wolf Amulet it has a similar function to a Rosarius, where it gives them an invul save, and it has the normal armor save. Now, the one problem with Ulrich that I can see here is the normal Wolf Priest. You can give them runic armor, you can give them Terminator armor, you can give them weapon options. But Ulrich the Slayer, being a character, they tend to come set. They are locked into their specific gear list. In fact, Ulrich the Slayer has absolutely no options. There's no variability in the model as far as what you can take with him. So that would be something that would be interesting to see in the new model. Maybe that's why the pistol's not that visible. Maybe you could take the Hellfrost pistol on him. I mean, who knows? Maybe you could throw some extra upgrades on there that aren't necessarily tangible on the model, that won't really matter for the purposes of WYSIWYG. But all that being said, the new Tech Marine, the Iron Priest, looks to be functionally the same. I do have a Iron Priest model. It functionally is identical. Obviously, they souped it up. They brought the model forward into the new techniques, and they brushed it up into the new wolf aesthetic that they've been pushing. The only thing that really seems different about it are the Hellfrost pistol and the Tempest Hammer. But they could have different rules as well. It could move into an HQ slot similar to the Tech Marine in Space Marines Codex. It could shift over there, which would allow for a more mech-ish wolf list, although they don't really have a lot of mech. Their tech priests are more geared towards the cyber wolves, but they do have very good dreadnought units now, so making the Iron Priest better might service that role, perhaps. Although with their current formations in the expansion Champions of Fenris, the Iron Priest would probably still be better to sit in an elite slot if you were taking the basic formation in that, which would let you take Bjorn the Fell-Handed as a commander, and then some Dreadnoughts, and then some Iron Priests. But this is a bit of a digression from the topic of the new releases. I'm super excited for these models. I'm wary of what they might do to my codex, as any longtime invested fan of any of the Games Workshop lines is whenever there's new rules afoot or rumors of a shakeup in the codex. Again, unless you were playing Dark Eldar during the, I think it was a 13, 14-year drought between codices, in which case you're probably like, please, give me a codex. But the Wolf Codex, I'm very pleased with it as it is. There's very little I could see that could be done to change it for the better. In that, well, obviously you could make things more powerful, but then that skews the environment and asks it to be nerfed later on and debuffed. Which is why I'm very happy, because the wolves are wildly mediocre. Mediocre is not quite the right word. They're balanced. They are good. They're not overpowered, in my opinion. Yeah, they have some very good units. Thunderwolves they needed the changes that were done to them. They're amazing. They're affordable. You can take a unit of Thunderwolves now for less than the cost of a Land Raider. Granted, once you kit them out, they might be about the same. At least how I kit them out, because I give them all Shield and Hammer. Because... well, actually, no, I give them all Shield and Frost Weapon. I have 3 Thunderwolves. 2 of them wield Frost Blades, and 1 of them wields a Frost Axe. Although, the hammers are also still good. The pricing is comparable, points-wise. But I'm really hoping that the Ulrich the Slayer model will interact, at least in some way, with the new Wulfen, because that would give us at least some more synergy and maybe more of a theme list to field in that respect. Even Ulrich as is, okay, ignoring it, say they don't change the rules of Ulrich at all, say they're just launching a new sculpt to bring the model into the new era of GW. He's still really good with Wulfen. If you throw him in with a unit of Wulfen, he's going to give them preferred enemy. They already have Feel No Pain, but so that's a bit redundant. He has Monster Hunter in there. He gives them Stubborn. So he does buff them significantly. Again, if they didn't have Feel No Pain, it's the primary reason I take a Wolf Priest in my list is because he confers Feel No Pain onto, say, a tactical squad, which otherwise just dies to power weapons. It gives them survivability. It gives them a die to roll. Yeah, sure, Feel No Pain is 5 up, but 5 up is better than nothing. Which is why I think that the Wulfen are actually not as papery as they might initially seem with that with that 4-up armor save. But this video, the summation is, my theory was correct. I feel vindicated. I first sort of read something about the Slayer model on an Italian site. The fact that the Hellfrost pistol couldn't be taken by anything raised an eyebrow. And then when the English translation hit the other day, showing that the Wulfen could not take the Tempest Hammer, that raised another eyebrow, because it's like, okay, now we have two and then my brain just, we have 2 weapons, that's the word, weapons, I have weapons, that we couldn't use, and so, but now we know where they are. The Iron Priests are hoarding them all. We should have guessed. And we have a new Ulrich model that is just... It's just so awesome. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. Bask in its glory. Thanks for watching, kids.